That family actually used to own this building here behind me. They live right behind it. They saw all of it last night go up in flames. Now these cones, they're going to be up for the next 3 to 4 days, and overall this project is going to take about 3 to 4 weeks. We had a chance to talk with Steve Anderson tonight. He was down here fishing with a group of his friends. He saw the canoers that were out here on the water tonight. He saw the canoe spill over, and tonight we had the chance to talk with him. Here's what he had to say. All right, and then all we have to do is pull that on the pin like that. Perfect. And look at that. AAA also says it's best to not put luggage or other items on top of your car because it affects the aerodynamics, creates drag, and eventually decreases your gas mileage. Sheriff, I want to talk about the evacuations here. I know you'd mentioned there's been a couple evacuations that have been happening here over the last couple hours. If you're sick and tired of it all, if you just can't handle these cold temperatures anymore, you don't like your water bottles freezing up, then we found some deals in the next couple weeks where you can get away from all of this and go to some place a lot warmer.
27. 28.
Yeah! All right. Nice. Oh. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Hurd. First on Fox, it's not your standard job interview. Eau Claire Police began the hiring process today, hoping to fill some open officer spots. To the Milwaukee area tonight, where about 20 people were evacuated from a hotel last night and taken to the hospital. A sudden sickness came over some of the guests while swimming in the pool. Accusations of child abuse against a jobless Arizona mom sparked outrage across the country and a lively debate on our Facebook page. All right, so the anticipation was killing me. I could not wait to come out here anymore. What have you got here?
We got some hot dogs. Everybody's here. Bob's even out here. We got some hot dogs.
Well, spring was finally in the air today, giving families a reason to get out of the house to find some fun. Many chose to do that today at the Excel Energy Kids Expo. The event went throughout the afternoon at the Eau Claire Indoor Sports Center. Coming up in our consumer segment, find out why experts say if you're graduating college soon, you are doing it at the right time. And next, we'll tell you why you may be digging a little deeper into your pockets to fill that burrito craving. We'll have the details next. You're watching WEAU 13 News at 10. This is what happens, and this is who you call in Black River Falls when your pipes freeze and the water stops running.
We get called out during the day, we get called out at night. I mean, so yeah, it gets pretty taxing.
Casey Ingebretson, a water operator with Municipal Utilities, says this year has been far beyond a normal winter. He's thawing out some houses that he's never been called to before.
We experienced some cold weather 4 or 5 years ago where it was the worst we had ever seen up until that point, and now this is worse than that.
He and Gene Larson hook up this welder to 2 sections of the problem pipe. It generates heat, warms up the pipe, and eventually frees up the frozen water. A process that can take anywhere from 10 minutes to 3 hours. And so, to prevent this from happening, several communities are asking people to run a faucet with a pencil-thin stream of water until further notice. Those places include Black River Falls, Fairchild, Thorpe, Mondovi, Strum, Alma Center, Taylor, Colfax, Pigeon Falls, and Blair. In Black River Falls, several people were just finding out about the request for homes and businesses.
Very surprising. I didn't realize the frost had gotten that far down.
At the Verizon store, they turned on their faucet after we stopped by.
Yeah, it's been a really rough winter, so I mean, kind of makes sense, I guess.
Blanche and Calvin Thorson don't want to take any chances.
Since we were supposed to do that, we'll follow what they tell us to do.
They were surprised this was a record for frozen lines in Black River Falls.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And so tonight, if you live in one of these communities, before you wind down and go to sleep, remember, lights off, water on. Now, some utilities say customers will not be charged for the extra water used. We have that information as well as a list of affected places right now on WEAU.com. How do you describe the excitement leading up to a trip to the state football tournament?
It's loud.
Crazy. Everybody's been cheering and yelling, saying, go, let's fight and win.
And that's exactly the atmosphere that filled the air at Stanley Boyd High School today.
I don't know, it was cool to see everybody with the school spirit.
Laura Bauer and the pep team put this celebration together. There were signs, songs, even some advice from past players who've been on the state turf.
The locker room, the atmosphere, being at Camp Randall, those are the memories that'll always stay with you.
It's been more than a decade since the team went to state. The last time was in 1996. Ronnie Ponick doesn't remember that tournament.
I was born in 96.
But will remember this one for the rest of his life.
Especially growing up as a little kid, just dreaming to make it to the big stage, and it's finally here.
Everywhere you go around town, you'll see signs rooting on the Orioles. Even at the grocery store, everyone's been talking about the big day.
People are very happy about us going. It's been a while.
Russ Judnick's son played in the championship game back in 1991.
They did a great job. I just hope they can do it again tomorrow.
Out on the practice field, the team is spending one last night under the lights, prepping for the big day.
We're excited for this opportunity. The guys are really focused on what they have to do tomorrow and hopefully come out and play our best football.
Standing tall, knowing their town is behind them.
Community coming together is really a big deal to us. I mean, it means a whole lot to us because they're really rooting for us on the other end as well as us, so we're doing it for them too.
When I showed up, I had no clue that I would like firefighting.
Brian Best can't see himself wearing any other uniform to work. He's a firefighter in training, taking classes at Chippewa Valley Technical College and hoping one day to be on the front lines, fighting large fires full time.
Once you go into the first live burn, you just love it.
CVTC's new Fire Safety Center will help give him that hands-on experience. The public got a first look at it today and even got to try out some of the firefighting gear. It's only one of 4 facilities of its kind in the U.S. and opens up new training opportunities. Facility manager Kim Nessel showed us how it will help students learn to fight flammable liquid fires. He says in this training room, the heat can get up to 2,000 degrees. Your average structure fire, by comparison, he says, is only about 300 to 500 degrees.
The heat is incredible. I've fought fire my entire life, and this is the most punishing type of fire that there is to fight.
Skills like this can help set firefighters apart in a profession where there's low turnover in paid positions.
When a new firefighter comes in, it generally is because somebody else has retired.
Eau Claire Fire brought on 11 new firefighters last year. Usually they hire an average of 3 per year. Kim Nessel says Chippewa Falls and Menominee also pay full-time firefighters. Altoona, he says, pays for on-call work. Nessel says firefighting students also have other options outside of community firefighting.
There are a lot of private firefighters. There's an awful lot of industrial firefighters that do certain types of testing on larger and smaller scale. NASA has firefighters. There's firefighters in the military.
He says many students here will join and work with volunteer departments. Best is already doing that when he's back home up north, and has his eyes set on making firefighting a full-time job when he graduates in a year and a half.
It's adrenaline. You're not stuck in an office. You don't know what you're doing. You might not do anything that day, or you might have a pretty cool fire to go to. Something different every day.
In Eau Claire, Kevin Hurd, WEAU 13 News.